So, in our research form, we often get requests on our YouTube for our YouTube requests thing of like how to be sub X in X event or anything along the lines, milestones, and I'm not doing them. And the reason is because they don't work. Most of them, you can be sub that milestone with explicitly not doing any of the tips they give. So I'll show this illustration here first and then explain a bit. This is Pete. Pete is a cuber. He likes cubing all the time. He knows full OLL and PLL and averages about 30 seconds. And he walks around with his cube all the time, basically just walking. Which isn't a great idea, really, because you can bump into walls and have problems if you're cubing while walking quite easily. But he gets away with it. But one day, he enters into a ship. Probably with a bunch of other people, but we don't really know the whole story. And he sails over the sea in the ship for a long time, probably cubing a lot on the ship itself. And the ship continues to sail along the sea. And he'll keep cubing, keep ensuring he remembers all his algorithms, and probably hopefully improving his F2L a bit. And his cross, which for a 30-second average solver is probably pretty bad if he knows full OLL and PLL. One day he arrives on a desert island, and his family aren't there, he's all alone and has nothing but the surroundings and his cube. He remains there for a year. In that year, he practices for hours and hours every day on the same cube and somehow manages to avoid it getting covered in sand. Obviously he has to work sometimes, but most of the time he spends cubing, and in that time he practices a lot, and in that practice, by the end of the year being up, he is now sub 10. So here we can see someone. Obviously this isn't a true story, but it's a completely realistic story. In fact, I reckon it would be less than a year for him to go from sub 30 to sub 10, practicing hours a day, even despite the fact he has absolutely no influence, no algorithms, just memorized, no YouTube, no books, nothing, just a 3x3 cube. That's all his cubing influence is. But obviously he knows full OLL, full PLL, and has a basic understanding of F2L. Now that basic understanding is going to advance, and he probably doesn't know the simple solution to this case at the time, but soon he's going to figure it out. You can just do that and match up the pair and insert it in, as most of my subscribers probably know. But this raises the issue of all these how to be sub X videos, because you can leave somebody alone for a year without any of this, and they will be sub that X if they spend hours practicing every day. So what's the point in that? There are so many different ways to be sub X that just following one tutorial isn't actually that helpful and will in most cases fail. So I'm not going to buy into that. Hopefully in the future we will make tutorials like follow class layer, full OLL, PLL, F2L tricks, cross tricks, that sort of thing. But there's no guarantee that by following them you're going to get sub X. There's a good chance you won't. It's up to you how much you're going to practice if you want to be sub X on a certain event.